get heavy and stuff, but you're back against the wall. You are a strong person, so baby keep moving on. Don't let nobody stop your hustle, but both your plans at your stand tall.
Hello everybody, thank you for joining me for another video here on LAVI Program LLC. It's your girl Lavender, your virtual life coach. So for today's video, I wanted to title it, Don't Let the Past Dictate Your Future. I think that sometimes we can allow our past to put a stain on how we view ourselves or how we think others may view us, and it could impact how we move forward. So before we get into this video, let me go ahead and let it be known that I have been having an issue with my eyes, so I don't know if it seems red to y'all, but I've been having to, put some antibiotics in it, trying to get it better. It was definitely worse. So if y'all see my eye kind of doing a little Forrest Whitaker thing, no shade to Forrest Whitaker, but if you see my eye doing that, that's why. Hopefully only a few more days, but I wanted to make sure that I get this video out. All right, y'all. So again, the title for today is Don't Let the Past Dictate Your Future. Here we go. Your past is a mere document of your historical human experience. It does not foretell future experiences, but can provide Easter eggs of how to navigate a similar situation moving forward. Realm of control. The past has already occurred. Accept what has been and act accordingly towards what is preferred. So, what is the realm of control? Realm of control is an act of mindfulness that deciphers the difference between things that are in or are out of one's control. So basically, what you do and what you don't control. These are your realms of control. So things that could be in your control include your words, actions, how you treat others, compliance choices like your rules, regulations, following laws, how you handle your feelings, decisions you make, how you take care of yourself, as well as the amount of effort that you might put into something. So those are things that are in your control. So out. Some of the things that are out of your control are what other people do or say, things from the past, how others feel, other people's choices, and the weather. But that is debatable for some people's perspective regarding if we can control that or not. All right, so did you notice a pattern when it came to the in and the out regarding things that you control? Long story short, you can only control you. With this in mind, and the past out of your control, how do you sever the past from your present and or future? Simple. You don't. You don't sever it. The past can be a vital reference when challenged to address a complicated situation in our present lives. It can serve as a cheat sheet of sort to life's tests and quizzes along the way, providing data based on experience and exposed to similar circumstances, to similar circumstances, settings, behavioral responses, strengths, and much more. So basically, your past is just, as I just said, is a historical database of, you, experiences, exposures, what you have learned along the way, things that you may still have yet to fully grasp, but maybe got your toe wet just a little bit. But it's a cheat sheet so that when in the future or moving forward along the way, as you continue your lifespan, when you run into similar circumstances, or you are constructed with maybe some type of thought process after something has occurred, you now have data that's already present in the mind, as far as how you reacted, how you thought about it, how you felt during that time, things that were done to address whatever the it is. So yeah, it can definitely serve as a cheat sheet, and it gives you a choice. It gives you a choice. Do you want to repeat the cycle, or do you want to find something better that better fits that timeline that you are in? So we must also acknowledge the past being a representation of an earlier point in time, a shift in the paradigm of one's developmental milestones, whether physical, cognitive, or behavioral. Let me scroll down, y'all. Sorry, I be using my prompts to help me along the way. And yes, I write these as constructive lesson plans before I put them out on video. The people who have seen my videos in the beginning, I'm sure you know why I use prompts. But for new people who have yet to be aware of why I use prompts, I do have OCD and I have social anxiety disorder. So having both of those mixed together by putting my face on screen and trying to talk to individuals, even though I'm alone in a room right now. I feel like I am talking to millions upon millions upon millions of people, and I hope to one day. But I know this is new, so let me get back to the program, though, y'all. But just explaining why I'm doing what I'm doing as far as looking off or veering off. So we must acknowledge the past being a representation of an earlier point in time, a shift in the paradigm of one's developmental milestones, whether physical, cognitive, or behavior, a mere prototype to a much larger vision that is still being crafted or sculpted as we speak. With every turn of a page, we gradually embark on a new chapter. How it is written and what is depicted on each page is profoundly dependent upon the author, you. So give yourself some grace, patience, and compassion. So again, the past, it might not be, perfect, but acknowledge that those were different milestones. Being able to experience those things gave you awareness and information that you can now use moving forward. Now, even in a bad situation, we have to also acknowledge that without those bad past experiences, we may not know what that dual opposite, that polar opposite is, because duality is important. They both exist because of the other one. It's a relationship. So in acknowledging duality and understanding that even though, yes, it might have been, strenuous, tragic, very traumatic to go through whatever bad past, experiences that we have had or that we identify as bad past experiences in our individual lives, that if it were not for those things, certain information we might not have. Could we have learned it another way? Sure. Would it have impacted us the same way? Maybe, maybe not. That's debatable. However, it has sculpted you into who you are. And if it's something that's bad or something you see as bad that's there, you do not have to carry it into the next milestone, because as you go through each milestone, you've gained something new. Something has developed more. Whether it's a little bitty grain of progress, progress is still progress. And you can do something with it if you so choose. All right, y'all. So while shifts in timelines may be a deeply and controversially debated topic, what has occurred in our past does not have to be given permission to infiltrate the experience of the present, nor the foundational construct of our future. Again, the choice is yours. You do not have to carry it with you. You can definitely unload the luggage. You are the gatekeeper of your life's voyage. If something from your past attempts to creep into newly established territory, banish it. Banish it. All right, so the next point regarding past experiences and not letting that dictate you is addressing past experience that significantly impacts you. So basically, what can someone do? What can they do to address it? So one step that you can do to address the past experience and how it may still significantly impact you in the present is forgiveness. So forgiving those who may have hurt you. Again, forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about you. That unpacking, that getting that weight off, acknowledging that I can't change what already happened. And it's not that I have to accept, what the negative thing was that happened to me. What I'm accepting is the fact that I can't change it, but acknowledging I'm still in control of how I move forward with that. Because that's something, somebody else, we're not looking for permission from other people to do what we need to do for our lives. That is not someone else's responsibility. That is ours. We are not seeking permission for us to grow, for us to change in a way in which we prefer. So let's forgive those individuals. That don't mean you got to talk to them. That don't mean you got to have them over for dinner. That does not even mean that if you cross paths with them on a sidewalk that you have to even acknowledge that they exist. You see them, it's like a piece of dust that flew by. You do not have to be cordial, none of that. But forgiveness is about getting that load off your back. Because the more that they have that type of impact on you and you forever living in resentment or a vengeful type of attitude, they still got control. I mean, I hate to say it. They still will have control because they control how you think, how you feel, what you do or don't do. Maybe, where you're going, where you're not going, who you're talking to, how you perceiving other people, how you perceiving yourself. And that's the second thing, number two, that has to be forgiven. Yourself. Forgive yourself. Acknowledge that, maybe I did make a good decision of something, or maybe I could have done something differently to handle whatever that situation was. At the same time, also acknowledge that I don't have to be a victim. I can definitely be a survivor. And shifting that mindset. And I mean, this is from the most severe, significant, traumatic experience that someone can have down to something that maybe someone else might not see as something huge. I wouldn't say minuscule because people's past experiences can definitely have a significant impact. But we want to make sure that we're acknowledging that forgiveness is a prominent step in making sure that we are able to let go of that weight of the past people, past things, letting it go, learning from it, letting it be an educational experience where we now have this cheat sheet on how we can move forward. All right, y'all. So the second way that you can address past experiences that significantly still impact you is by setting personal goals. So goal-oriented thinking patterns can help to redirect negative thoughts of the past. So, when you're just idled, your brain can start running. And before you know it, it can spiral. And sometimes experiences from our past can arise. We can definitely take the wrong turn down memory lane and end up on what seems like Elm Street. And something worse than Freddy Krueger be there. You know what I'm saying? But um, definitely making sure that if we set goals or if we have some type of goal oriented thinking, it gives us just a positive way of not escapism, but constructively using the mind. Not just finding a way to put a band-aid on it. No, working through it by using that space that we were about to give this negative, past experience, vacancy in our brain. We're filling it with something constructive, something productive, something that works toward our betterment rather than having us sulk in what is out of our control anymore. And then number two, also when it comes to setting personal goals, goal achievements can help to affirm positive change and self growth and build self empowerment that ignites confidence and esteem, which encouraging further self enhancement. So, by setting those goals and by actually, achieving them, again, you have this interpersonal growth and improvement that you're feeling. And so now, it can help to boost you. Again, realizing that it's okay to feel whatever I feel when that thought about the past comes up, but acknowledging that I don't need to stay there. It's my choice if I stay there or not. And then thirdly, when it comes to addressing the past experience that may still be impacting you, is support. So I have three specific ones written down here, but there are multiple ways in which you can seek support. But the first form that I have here is therapy. So therapy can help to address issues of the past that may impact the present. Person-centered support from a therapeutic professional can help guide individuals through challenging situations heavily stemmed from past experiences. So, trauma, fears, social dynamics and problems, self perception, behaviors, etc. The second form of support that I have here is life coach services. So, someone like myself. Life coach services can serve as an additional support to help individuals navigate life experiences impacted by the effects of their past. While life coaching services is not a healthcare practice, it can provide a safe space for individuals who may not feel most comfortable speaking with a therapeutic professional. So even though you might not want to, talk to, as they say, a shrink, you can still talk to someone. A lot of people say, "Well, I ain't got no friends. I don't have no supports." Well, you got life coach people out here, like myself. You don't have to choose me. You can do your research and see who else is out there. Maybe someone better fitting than myself. Um, all right. So, a life coach services. What I wrote down here was an equivalent comparison. Because some people might say, well, what I need a life coach for if it's not a healthcare practice? Well, let me just say I am a licensed QMHP in the state of Virginia, which QMHP is a qualified mental health professional. I have been licensed since 2019, and I have my master's in psychology. So let me just go ahead and, pat myself on the back with that one. So, however, as a life coach, I cannot treat or diagnose, but I can guide, support, educate, review, help you manage and maintain progressions, when it comes to better establishing and building your life for the way that you see your ideal future or your ideal self. All right, so the equivalent comparison I have here for life coach servicing is kind of like working with a doula or a midwife throughout the pregnancy milestones in the labor and childbirth process. So while the doula, might not be a medical professional, they still have medical, certifications that they've had to, pass to be able to adequately do the additional support that you may need when it comes to your pregnancy milestones, things you may experience throughout your pregnancy, as well as labor and childbirth steps that you may take. Sorry, my household and this would be talking. All right, so lastly, as far as the third support that I have here is your natural supports. So your natural supports are your friends, your family, and other closely entrusted acquaintances. So they can help individuals confront issues of the past, encourage improvements for the future, and remind the individual of their progress thus far. Many would agree that a true friend will not only highlight your improvement, but will be honest about problem areas that still exist. Having this balance of perception can help individuals learn to identify a diverse plane of options and avenues rather than moments of defeat, disappointment, regret, or shame. So, again, y'all, do not let your past experiences or, past things impact, who you are or where you're going, because it does not dictate that. That is a choice that you have to make. And the choice really is yours. All right, y'all. So that's the end of this video. I hope that you can like, comment, share, and subscribe. Um, I do provide individual sessions, so the information for that is listed in the description. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching. Again, those who already are subscribed, I appreciate you. Those new people who have not seen me before, this is your first time, I appreciate you. Thank you. And I look forward to continuing to work with y'all. When you're ready, schedule with me. Hit me up. I got you. All right, y'all. Take care. Bye bye.